Hello, hello. Happy Friday.
Hey guys, what's up?
How are y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. I'm excited because we're going to show something off that we have not been able to before
Wow,
now.
you jumped right into that.
Oh man, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see the reactions that everybody has for this because
Well, now we're going to make everybody wait for us and talk about all the stuff we've been doing all week.
okay, fair enough. That's fine.
It is
More
funny.
to come.
So yeah, we always complain that we got to wait for approval to show things off, and this one, this, and now we get approval, and I'm like, well, give it a few minutes. We'll let it simmer. We'll let it wait. So you want to bring everybody up to speed on what we've been doing? The shipping, the QC continues. We have been really busy between the night vision goggles, Mr. DNA, the Dune, Chris Knife. Man, lots of stuff coming in, lots going on, lots to cover. Real fast, even though we've talked about it, just since it's come up online recently, Jared, you want to just give a real brief update, super quick, on KN Love's Gun? What's going on?
Well, we are still in development on that with our supplier partners overseas. We're just pacing these things out to where they come out at a reasonable time and make them as awesome as possible. I know everyone's seen a lot of close-ups from the prop store auction that happened a few months ago. So that also helped inform us quite a bit. I think what we had seen up until that point were just a lot of still images of the actual props. And we get to see videos with Adam Savage and Brandon at Prop Store actually holding them and making, this is how this works. This is how this works. And that helped demystify some elements of it for us. Not that they were incredibly complex, but sometimes you just have that moment. And that's kind of what we're circling around right now with it.
Well, and we had the STL files from the prop maker anyway.
We did, and super helpful, but there's also a kind of a practical knowledge that doesn't quite make it through when we get assets like that. It's like, hey, here's the files, here's the assets. Cool. How does it work? And sometimes that just gets lost in translation or isn't. It just isn't conveyed in that way. So it does help when we see like the Prop Store videos, and some friends at Prop Store that we have took some extra images for us and gave us a little bit of background on what does what, how it does this, why it does that, etc. All things that just help inform us better and make a better product on the end. And that's just what we're circling around with those on right now. But I feel like we should have some real prototypes to share. Well, actually more like pre-production samples within the next few weeks. Yep. So stay tuned. Always come here, watch our videos, check our social channels, our newsletter. The way we do it might just show up on one of these videos with the pre-production guns showing them on.
Well, you had a whole Yosemite Sam thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So real fast, let me just back up. So normally what we'll do, of course, it's always great to have a screen used asset when you're reproducing things. We're fortunate, being hundreds of years old and being around this thing forever. Usually one of us knows somebody who worked on a given production. Such was the case with Blade Runner 2049. I always almost mess up and drop the studio name, and I don't think Lewis would appreciate that. But I'll throw that much in there. Anyway, they were kind of sharing their files and that sort of thing. But as we've talked about before, it's so easy for us as fans and having worked in and around the industry forever, still to you get a little jaded. And these guys, once they finish a job, they move on to the next thing. It's not like they're keeping every little facet of a given gig in the back of their head. So on something like Case Gun, Jared's talking about some of the mechanics and the hero prop. They were pretty ambitious. I mean, there's a lot happening in that piece. So by the time we have our conversation with the studio and they're like, here's the files, It's old news to them. They really don't want to sit down and just nerd out with us about different paths we might want to take. So little things like the carbon fiber, the faux carbon fiber local in the grips, that sort of thing. When we go to manufacture that with our partners, we're trying to impress upon them how important a given look is, and sometimes you just need a better picture, and it's good to be in a position where you can call up a buddy and say, hey, before that thing gets sold, snap some shots of this for us so we can share it with our guys overseas.
Yeah.
And it's good to be able to take that kind of time rather than to take a best guess. If we had taken 1 million pre-orders and people were barking and yiping about, hey, where's my stuff? I think that gets some people in trouble sometimes, where a project gets rushed and it becomes a best guess. I'd rather not do it at all than have to do that. And as we've talked about before, these are long licenses. We do have to space it out a little bit. We've already done a lot of stuff from Blade Runner 2049. We're coming to an end with our hero Blade Runner blaster, and there's a good window coming up to really sink some energy into Kay and Love's Gun, as we've been doing all along. It's just slowly taking our time, in addition to a gazillion other projects. So inevitably, people will pipe up online sometime on our socials. Hey, where's Kay's gun? Where's Love's Gun? And we get it. Not everybody watches these or even joins our newsletter, but those are the number one ways to find out what we're up to. And like Jared said, we're apt to show it off here before we even show it off online, just depending on what kind of mood we're in. So join the newsletter. You can get there by way of our website, and we'll also update on these videos. But yeah, Kay and Love's Gun, very much in progress, and you will see them soon. You'll see them you'll see them what? First quarter next year, maybe?
Oh, releasing? Yeah.
We'll show them off before then, but
we'll show them off before then.
But they'll spend a little. There's going to be a lot of metal in them. I mean, we're not just making plastic replicas. I mean, they're going to be, a nice companion piece for your hero Blade Runner blaster.
I should also mention, when the prop makers, when we contact them and we secure some assets from them or the studio, it's not that they don't know what the thing does or they don't care. What happens between the time they make it and the time it's filmed, many things could change. We saw this with the bat glyph from the Batman, the Robert Pattinson one. We always saw it separated into two pieces, and I think at one point we were told, oh, he uses them like fighting weapons, and that's why it does that. And we're like, oh, cool. Never does that in the movie. It ends up not doing that at all. So what was planned, what was built for, sometimes just does not make that into the final film, the final cut.
Right.
So things change from the time a prop maker gets it and the time it gets on film. That's all.
Or sometimes it can get made at one studio, sent over to a prop master who does a completely different thing with it after the fact. Weird stuff happens on a piece's journey. And then when we go back, I think kind of the thing I was trying to convey was even now, I'll still get excited about a piece. Like it was the same studio who had manufactured the cryocan. So while I was having a conversation with this guy about it was the Joy Emanator when we were getting the STL and the shot pulse of the Joy Emanator from him. I had mentioned the cryocan, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we made those." Blah 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 blah, and he just spit it out, and I'm like, "Huh? What? I've been looking for you for years," and I tried to talk about it, and you could just tell it was so far in his rearview mirror. He was done no faster than he said we did those years ago. And I was like, I had a few questions about such and such. And I was telling him about the piece I was studying over at Universal at the time, the hero. And I wanted to kind of deep dive on it and nerd out a little bit. And you could tell he was already going in the other direction, so I was like, all right, I'll spare you. And then we just kept on about Blade Runner a little bit. But even then, that thing had been 2 years done. And he was so many other projects ahead telling me about current stuff that he was working on that I'm sitting there trying to take notes like, All right, we'll see about getting that license. We'll see about getting that, because half the challenge is finding the stuff, right? The proper reference. So when you happen to get somebody who's chatty and wants to share, and they're telling you about all these cool things they're working on in movies that you know are coming, next year, it gets exciting. But yeah, those guys, they move on pretty quick. They're not as as geeky about it as we are.
Yeah, so we have something cool to share today, right? We want to show off, right?
Yeah, let me put on my my super duper gloves, and we'll do that.
Your Mickey
That's
Mouse
gonna be a
gloves.
great spot for an edit for that thing that just
Just
happened.
wear one.
What's that?
Just wear one glove.
Hee
But wouldn't it need to be on the other hand?
hee. Hang on. It's so heavy. Oh, all right. Look at this guy.
Wow. Is that solid bronze?
It is 35 pounds of solid bronze. Yes, it is.
Yeah. 35 pounds of pure bronze.
Yes, sir. Taken from, you want to tell them all about it? I'm only going to hold it a second, but
Okay. This is what we are calling the opening day Haunted Mansion plaque. So in August of 1969, when the attraction opened at Disneyland, one of the cool key things that people saw as they waited in line for this are these plaques that were put on the gate entrance to the Haunted Mansion. And they were bronze, cast bronze pieces intended to be there for the life of the park. And when they were first put on display, that is what they look like. Polished, clean bronze, just like Walt Disney wanted. And we have replicated that the exact same way. We have secured scan data from the park, from the archives that they have shared with us in replicating these pieces. And we have gone to a foundry and actually cast them in pure bronze. And like Ryland said, they're heavy. They weigh 35 pounds. And they are pretty incredible.
yeah, they really are. We'll throw up the photos also. 35 pounds of awesome. I think, in fact, I'm positive we're the only company to have ever offered what would be a real Haunted Mansion plaque.
Yep.
So,
No.
opening day, when you go back on some of those early photos, you could see that they were polished just like this one. And then the idea is if you look at this stuff, if you breathe on it, it starts to tarnish. So the cool thing is, we're not going to put a protective coating on them or anything like that. We want them to, if you want to keep it shiny, you can. But if you wanted to stick it outside or let it just tarnish with age, it will age with you and your family. And that's the beauty of it. And that's essentially, you could tell that's what they probably intended with the original plaque. You can look at the opening day plaques. Of course, like Jared said, they're all bright. A couple years later, they start to get, you see their natural patina developing on them, and then they age over the years. You want to talk about the story of what likely has happened to them and why we see so many different finishes on them these days, Jared?
Yeah. So at Disneyland, like we discussed earlier, they were polished bronze on opening day, and over the years they started to, I don't know if they'd put protective coating on it or not. I think they probably did try to give it some protection over the years. But regardless, bronze is going to do what bronze does, and it'll weather and patina down. And sometime the story goes, sometimes in the early 90s, a decision was made to pull them down and do some restorative work on them. And that actually damaged the protective finish on it that had developed naturally. So inadvertently, they had kind of damaged the natural patina that had formed on it over time, over 20 years or so. And now that's kind of why they look like they do today, which is sometimes they look black with deep purple greens in the letters and like a wash had been put over it. Sometimes they look, I've seen photos where they look like rusty, which is weird, like an oxidized iron. But yeah, it seems to depend on the seasons. It depends on the lighting. They really change based on when and how you're looking at it and what light and what time of year. So we decided let's just go back to the beginning. Let's make them like they looked when the ride opened. And that is exactly what you see right there.
Yep.
So we will be offering it with, these will be raw bronze. There is no protective coating on it. We want to give you, the collector, the option to put a protective wax coating on it or not. Maybe you want to just leave it out and do its thing and oxidize and weather naturally and get its own patina, its own protective finish over time. But it will last, bronze will last decades, hundreds of years from what I understand, actually.
Yeah, it will outlast you.
Yes, it is very much an heirloom quality, collectible, museum grade piece that I will one day give my children for their home when they decide, I'm going to do a cool Halloween thing this year with my family. I'm like, well, let me give this to you. Here you go.
I wouldn't be brave enough to stick one outside for fear of somebody jacking the thing. I mean, they have to work for it, but
I want to keep it inside too, just because I want to be able to see it. I want to be able to look at it in my study, in my office, library, etc.
yeah, I only brought this one in. Mine's been at the house. The prototype's been at the house just because I enjoy it so much. But yeah, it's fantastic. Do we want to talk about the edition size? I mean, we're only going to do a couple. We might as well. You want to get into that? So we're going to do just a couple hundred of these. That's it.
Yeah, 199 pieces is what we're playing.
That's it. It's going to be an in and out. There's a lot to it. It's a difficult piece to QC. There's a reason why nobody's offered them like this before. We've been through a couple of different foundries. It's a tough gig, but we all love this so much. We're really excited to be able to talk about it. Probably over the next week or so, you'll see some socials out in the next day or so. Probably right along with this video, alongside this video, that'll just say, join our mailer. And we'll update soon about this. If it's the kind of thing you're into, you probably want to keep an eye out. We suspect they'll be spoken for pretty quickly. Yeah. And the first few will be along probably by Halloween, right?
Yeah, I just got a video from the foundry this morning of them actually in production, and it is a legit lost wax process. The amount of handwork that goes into each one is even more involved than I thought it was.
We'll put some, and we'll have some videos soon about that. Again, we got to get them approved, but we'll show you. I'm sorry, Jared. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's just yeah. I know the next question a lot of people are asked is, when can I get these? And like Rylan said, we want to do these in small batches, just because this type of foundry work can't be done quickly. So it will be a handful of units at a time, and we'll figure out a way to inform collectors and anybody reserving it how they can do that on our landing page. We might do it in batches of 25. I don't know yet, but once those 25 are spoken for, we might close it, let the next batch be done, open it up again, and then let more people jump in and get on that. But the total edition size will be 199 pieces. And the idea is that, we start shipping these in October for people. Yep.
And if we undermade them, so be it. We put a little bit of thought, how many of these do we want to do? And kind of like I said, you got to take QC and them into consideration. There's all kind of wacky stuff going on with tariffs also that we don't want to be in a holding pattern on perpetually. So it just felt right. Let's keep them really special. Let's keep the number super, super low. We'll figure out a way of when everybody knows, all right, we're dropping the gate. This is go time. So it's fair to everyone. Again, we're not going to do it like a lottery or anything like that. It'll just be, hey, this is when they're coming. This is when you can order, go. And I think everybody wants one, should be able to get one. They're of course going to be priced like you think a 35-pound bronze plaque will be priced. We'll get that up soon. But to say they're an heirloom level collectible, absolutely. So we're excited about it. And this is the first piece in what will be a series of higher end pieces from the Haunted Mansion. And there'll be some similar things coming along of other beloved pieces that we'll talk about when we can. But this is first in what we hope is a pretty popular and exclusive series.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's that.
Pretty.
Did you have any questions about them, Amy? I mean, I know Jared and I sometimes get in our bubble, and you're taking care of stuff, in a different field. Do you have any? You got any questions about it?
No, I like where we landed with that one, with doing the opening day look. We've talked extensively about, different versions of how we wanted to approach this, and I think we landed on the right one. I'm just really excited, and I'm especially excited to see, as we grow, we can start seeing photos of, okay, well, this person's got one in Florida that it looks totally different in 2 or 3 years than it does in California or in Montana or
that's
New
fun.
York.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to kind of start seeing those things. Again, this is not the only thing that we are coming out with from Haunted Mansion, but I'm just super excited about this particular piece because it's really near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah, and truly a lot of thought went into it. We played, we learned a lot about bronze along the way. And what you see a lot of times, it could be a statue in the park, something you see on a wall, a bust. A lot of times once the foundry's done with their work, they'll put man-made patinas on it that kind of seal a given look in time. So when you see a piece, sometimes whether it's a museum, a state park, whatever, you're like, oh, there's that little bit of green, and hey, here's some bronze peeking through, and you think it's in the process of naturally aging. No, they've frozen that particular look in time, and we didn't want to trap it that way, because ultimately, what's the difference between that and a painted fiberglass plaque, right? It's not evolving, it's not growing with you. So the beauty of this is, whenever you pick it up, if you stick it on the wall and leave it alone, it's going to do its own thing. It's going to do, like Jared said, what bronze does. If it's introduced into the elements, it's going to do it very quickly. But that's a gamble to stick something like that outside. As far as hey, the elements can't hurt it. I mean, it's bulletproof, but somebody else might appreciate it more than you do. And
actually, I read somewhere, I think, or watched someone on one of those like end of the world shows. But like one of the man-made things that will persist throughout time and the eventual decline of the human race are bronze statues.
Oh yeah,
like concrete will crumble, steel will oxidize and rust, plastics will eventually become brittle and just dissipate, but bronze will actually stay bronze for hundreds, thousands of years, possibly.
Yeah,
it will actually outlast a lot of other man-made materials. So
yeah, it's a forever piece. I mean, that's fun to think about it, especially if a younger family or collector picks it up. It's moving. That's that one thing that's going in the back seat, right? Everything else might go in the moving van, but that's going to ride up front with me on the way to the next place. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're proud of it. We're really glad that our PD team over at Disney got behind it, because that's another thing. As we've talked about with other studios, sometimes not everybody's on the same page, and Disney and their archive team and the product development team, our category manager, everybody's just fantastic, and they're really willing to let us bring some stuff to market that just hasn't made it before. So we hope you guys like it. We think you will.
I got a spot for mine picked out already, like right.
I was going to say, I noticed the bookcase before we started. So yeah, I see you got Bruce back there.
I got Bruce. He's got scan markers on him because I was doing a test scan, so that's why he's got that. My kids call it Sparkle Shark because he kind of sparkles in the right light. Okay. With those 3D marker reflectors on it.
There you go.
Sparkle Shark. This shelf I want to put maybe up higher and put my Nautilus on there, but then I do want to have a Haunted Mansion plaque right there.
I think that'll happen.
Yeah.
I think that will happen. But yeah, I'm tempted to talk about all the different flavors and colors we went through on the plaque, but I think we pretty much covered it. I mean, again, when you see the plaques in the park, especially if you're a fan of the mansion, like Jared said, you do go in July, that plaque's going to be different than the one you see in December. And it's not because it's naturally aging. Sure, it's picking up, day-to-day grime and, stuff from the elements, but they are hand painting those now. And that's why you're seeing the different look, as it were. It just depends on who the given artist is at that time. And the old mansion plaque look from the 70s, that has really changed over the last couple decades, where we went from truly that natural streaking of a very organic patina on a real, on a real bit of plaque. So nice to take it back to day one. And like I said, we're going to do that with a couple other things too. We think you guys are going to really like it. So yeah, it's nice to be able to finally get that out.
Yeah.
I think we're going to title this video Haunted Mansion Plaque. We might as well do that.
Good timing too, because everything is starting to turn Halloween right now.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, so I sent you guys the photos. I've already started. I couldn't help myself. I already started decorating.
Yeah.
You didn't
I meant to
send me
just
the
bring one or two
photos.
things out. Was that?
You didn't send me those photos.
I thought I sent you. I sent it out in the group. I thought I sent it in the group. Oh man,
It's
it must have been a
okay.
late
You just
night.
want me to see it when you're done. I get it.
Well, you'll be at the house sometime. You'll be in the house sometime in the next week anyway. I'll send it to you. I'm sorry. But yeah, I meant to just bring one or two things out. It wasn't that eventful. But I brought one or two things out, and then before I knew it, it was all creeping out into the house. And Rhonda's supportive, so that's good. But yeah, I need 2 months of Halloween. What's that, Jared?
I agree. 2 months. That's why I'm planning on this weekend getting some stuff down, putting it around, starting a little bit here, a little bit there, but then over the next week or two, bring it all out so it's all there. Yeah, September is go time for Halloween, as far as I'm concerned.
It is.
It's go time.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's all I got. So we probably shouldn't muddy this up with anything else, since we finally got to talk about the plaque. We've been wanting to bring that up for so long. We've been working on this for so long. That,
It's almost slipped so many times too. We've been talking about it like in the background and like, oh, the Bahamut mansion.
Oh.
Yep. So
some of you may have noticed a couple of weeks ago we posted a happy birthday to the Haunted Mansion, where we had Amy found a great image of the plaque that was taken at night or something. It was just, oh my God, that's perfect. Yes.
And we tried to hint.
A little bit of a hint there. Yeah.
And it was great because that photo was actually posted the day before the anniversary on Disneyland's website.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it was just kismet. The world knew that we were going to be putting this out, and we just needed that beautiful photo.
That's it. So everything that's going to continue here, I'm just let's see what's handled so far. If you ordered a pair of envies from us directly, they are in the mail. I think all those have been fulfilled. The last of the direct Mr. DNAs went out today, and we should have the last of the Chris Knife. This is just direct orders taken care of over the next couple of days. So yeah, it's great. We'll have some more updates about the Godzilla tree toppers, that sort of thing, next week. That's pretty much it. We really just wanted to share the mansion plaque with you guys. Unless, Amy, you've got anything else?
No, if you guys have ordered from Big Bad or Sideshow or any of our retail partners, we slowly have gotten some of those orders out. We are still working on Big Bad and Sideshow, so just give us a hot minute. I'm trying to get all of those orders together, because the big guys have obviously ordered DNAs and Chris Knives and goggles, and so it's kind of everything that is getting compiled on those pallets for them. So thanks for your patience, and we'll have those out soon.
It's the busiest we've ever been in the warehouse, for whatever that's worth to anybody. I mean, it's a good thing for us that more and more people are finding us and picking stuff up. That's great. But as runs do, they tend to bottleneck, and all three of these kind of came in really close to each other. So yeah, and in a lot of cases, it's just me and Sean in the back loading everything up and getting it to Rhonda and Amy to get it to you guys. So yeah, the retailer orders are being worked on now. So I'm sure those guys will be updating for you soon. So we are on it. But if you have any questions and you've ordered directly from us, we're happy to help you in any way. Just give us a shout. We'll tell you where you're at. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Lots of stuff going on. So we'll have lots of updates for you guys in the next coming weeks.
I feel so weird when I do videos from my office here at work. I'm so used to doing these at home with and seeing like drums and stuff behind me. It's weird doing one of these in the office. I feel like I got to clean it up first. I had all kind of crap back here that I had to pick up, and
yeah, we can't see it anyway. It's all down there, and we can't see it.
I had some stuff peeking right here that I had to do away with. I had some stuff leaning in the corner there. So
yeah,
anyway.
I had a box of cat food and some cat litter here that I had to move earlier.
Where is all the cat stuff? Is it just shove it in the corner?
I put it on the opposite side of this room. So if I tilt, wait, I'll make sure there's nothing out.
See, that's what I got to do. I'm always worried I'm going to show stuff that I shouldn't be showing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway.
All good.
All right, cool. Well, look, you guys have a good weekend. I got nothing else. So, again, Blade Runner Hero Blasters, insanely popular. Did either everybody just suddenly found out we did those? Keep them coming. I'm happy to be done and out of those things soon. So that'll be great. But yeah, the Blade Runner Hero Blasters still been really popular. And we did just stick a video up the other day where I'm just kind of doing a loose, hey, here's what's in the box, here's what it does. And in fact, should be the last thing that's on our socials, I think, is that video before this one will go up. So there you go. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, again, just call us, email, happy to help. So thanks again for everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Have a great weekend.